What is up guys, Ghost here, and today we're going to be talking competitive Overwatch, and I wanted to discuss with you guys about the ranking system, and specifically where you stand up against the competition and what it means. What does your rank mean? What does rank 40 mean? What does rank 50 mean? How good is rank 50? How good is rank 60? Where does it end and where does it stop? Where is the top spot and where is the bottom spot? Now, just for a moment, backtracking to the beta where we had a completely different competitive system, that system works well for progression, and it seems that people are treating the new rating system as a progression system, as a ladder system. People want to see them get up in rating, right? They want to gain rating, they want to win games and gain rating, and as a result, when they lose a bunch of games in a row and they lose a few points of skill rating, you know, they get really down about it, and oftentimes they just say, you know what, I've had enough for today, I'm going to stop playing. Now the problem is, the old system we had with different tiers and different divisions like Challenger, Advanced, Expert, then you had Master and Heroic, that was in a sense a progression system. You then had tiers within each of those divisions, and with enough wins you would make your way up to the next tier, and enough tiers you would make your way up to the next division. That was a progression system. It kind of felt like the game was promoting you, and it was like, hey, now you're in this group of players that we're going to call Expert Division, right? It felt like you can actually judge how good you were off of that. Now what players wanted though is some sort of a skill number to be able to relate to other players, so they can say, okay, this is how good I am, and I'm being matched up against this guy that is this good, based on a numerical value. And of course that's exactly what we got with the skill rating system. It shows you how good the enemy team is and how good your team is. But it's not really a progression system the way players are treating it as. It's just a number that Overwatch uses to match you up against other players. And really what players should be concentrating on is improving their skills at the heroes, improving their map awareness, their map knowledge, their team synergy with people that they play with. If you do that and you start winning more, your rating will automatically adjust and go up and match you up against better players. That is the only reason rating exists. It is just to match you up against players of a similar skill level. It is not, however, built to be a progression system whereby you get to X skill rating number and then it says, hey, congratulations, you're now within the top 10% of players within Europe. And when I talk about taking the rating system as a progression system, I by no means exclude myself from thinking about it that way. I find myself thinking about it that way all the time. In fact, last night, I lost a few games. I was rank 54 or so. I'm now down to rank 50. I lost a few games, and I started thinking, like, how good am I at the game? You know, am I the top 60% of players, the top 40%? Am I in the top 25%? What does rank 50 actually mean? What is the lowest rank? What's the highest rank, etc.? And this way of thinking started out as soon as I finished my placement matches. I won 7 of my placements and I lost 3. And in every game I had gold or silver medals. So based on the fact that the rating system is 1 to 100 and therefore the average is 50, I thought, okay, if I win 5 placements and I lose 5 placements, that's going to be around a rank of 50. So since I won 7, I fully expected to be placed at least a rank of 60. And then I got placed at 47, and you know, I was just like, what the hell, man, what did I do wrong? Now, of course, if I got completely carried by my team and just performed appallingly, that would be understandable, but I knew that I had gold and silver medals in every game. I pretty much played my part. And already, man, the tears of salt started running down my cheeks with my little rank 47. No, but seriously. Because your rank is measured in this numerical value, everybody assumes that 80 or 90 is something obtainable, is something that they want to shoot for. You know, to quote Jeff Kaplan in a recent interview with Kotaku, and I'm going to go ahead and be cheeky and steal his comparison here, if you compare this to taking an exam out of 100 points, most people would probably aim for around 80 or 90 points, right? At least 80. If they got more than 90, then fantastic. Give themselves a pat on the back. They did really well. But, you know, in the case of Overwatch, I mean, if you get 50 points in that exam, you'd be gutted, right? That's maybe not even a pass. So for me, I ended up at rank 47, and that's how I felt. I felt like I had gotten 47 points on a test out of 100. I kind of felt like crap. Congratulations, Ghost. You failed at Overwatch school. Now, the fact of the matter is, as Jeff says, after the dust has settled, he's actually realised that a player with a 60 skill rating is a super badass in our system. And if we look at the skill rating curve on Master Overwatch, you can actually see that the skill rating players of level 60 are within the top 10% of players in the game. So in everyone's head, they're thinking rank 90 and above would numerically be the top 10% of players in the game, but rank 60 actually puts you in the top 10%. So the top ranked player only has a rating of 86, I mean I say only, but that's because it's out of 100. And a skill rating of 50 apparently means you're in the top 49% of players. Now it's obvious that the rating system works very well, as we can see that many of the top ranked players are indeed pros, and they were pros before the competitive system even came out, so the fact that it has selected them and raised them up to the highest rating of course makes sense, because they are indeed some of the best players in the world. And if you look at the distribution of this lovely bell curve, that is exactly spot on how it's supposed to be. However, when you think that a rank of 50 is the top 50% players in the world, and then go up just 10 points to a rating of 60, that automatically boosts you up to the top 10% of players. That seems like an awfully big jump for a difference in skill rating of 10 points. So I think Blizzard really need to work on incorporating a sort of secondary system for the next season of competitive. I think the skill rating system to govern who is matched up against who works really well, but in terms of figuring out what it says about you as a player and how good you are compared to the rest of the community, it doesn't really give you a lot to go on. Now you also have to take into consideration that this sample of numbers here on Master Overwatch is only from the people who have logged their Battle.net IDs into Master Overwatch at least once. So this is only a sample of around 80,000 players. Now I'm going to go ahead and assume that people who have come to Master Overwatch seeking statistics, seeking self-improvement, are probably some of the better players out there in the community. So you can say that if you have a rating of 50, you're in the top 50% of those players, but that is of course not of the entire Overwatch player base. This isn't a sample of 10 or 11 million players, or however many people own the game. And you can be sure that if this sample was out of all those players, including all of the more casual types, that the average rating will probably be more around the skill rating of 40, I would assume, rather than 50. So hopefully we're going to see some of these changes coming into Season 2. Jeff says, we're really talking a lot about skill rating and trying to recalibrate how players think about skill rating for Season 2. We feel like a lot of things we did in the UI and the numbers that we chose make players think of skill rating as a leveling system. He also says Blizz are exploring working on systems to get players to think more of skill rating as a calibration that naturally goes up and down, and less of it like a progression system. So that should hopefully be coming with Season 2, along with stuff like getting rid of the coin flip and adding time bank to escort maps. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed this little chit chat about the competitive system, and if you guys have been having similar thoughts to myself and a lot of other players out there regarding how well you're doing within the system, then leave some thoughts down below. If you want to divulge your rank, that's cool. If not, you know, cool as well, but let me know what your thoughts have been on the system. Do you like it, or would you indeed like to see a progression system running alongside the rating system, like it sounds that Blizzard could well be implementing in the future for Season 2? As always, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below as it helps out a ton, and I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.